What is up, people? It is me, Monster58. Welcome back to another video review, and today we are going to be taking a look at the Transformers Retro G1 Autobot Seaspray. Now, this is essentially a deluxe class G1 Seaspray brought into the modern era, and the reason I ended up picking this up is because when we were looking at the Autobots pre-86 movie, before the 86 movie, the only two that we really have left in terms of figure form, with this new sort of, all this golden age idea of Transformers in these recent releases that we've gotten, are Power as well as Seaspray. And so when I saw this mold and I saw a review of it by that toy guy, I knew I had to pick one up for myself. And very luckily, my local Walmart ended up getting this as well as the Brawn figure that's in this wave in stock. And so I ended up picking up the Seaspray because obviously I really want Seaspray. We already have the SS86 Brawn, so that sort of fills the G1 Brawn that we would need in our collections. And so it's really nice to finally get a Seaspray in the collection because I never actually owned a Seaspray figure. And so when I was looking at this figure, I knew that this was probably the mold that they're going to eventually use, releasing, maybe whatever Age of the Primes line that they're going to do next or something similar to that. They're just going to modify it to make it more G1 accurate, because this toy at the end of the day is here to more or less represent the G1 toy, but it's still really, really good. So taking a look at the packaging here, you can see Autobot Seaspray here. You can see this very nice retro G1 display with the original Transformers logo. It says Heroic Autobot up there. More than meets the eye right up there as well. The instructions actually come in here. Very similar to like OG packaging, like from like '07 mainline stuff. You can obviously see some nice artwork of Seaspray here, both in this robot as well as his vehicle form. And then on the back, you can see some more nice artwork, and then you can see Seaspray's tech specs there and stuff like that. So really cool artwork around here. So overall, when it comes to the packaging, this is pretty cool. This is the first time I've ever bought one of these, so this is the first time I've ever experienced this packaging, but it's pretty solid. And so, folks, without further ado, alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, here we have the Transformers Retro G1 Seaspray out of the box and in his vehicle mode, and I gotta say, I actually think I screwed that, yeah. Wait, no. Yes, that's how it's supposed to be. I screwed that up. But here he is in his vehicle mode, and I gotta say, guys, when they're taking a look at this vehicle mode, this is really, like, I think they should just take this mold, and then what they should end up doing is just doing a little bit of modifications, like to the head sculpt, and a few more details here and there, and they will make it the perfect G1 Seaspray that we can have in our collection, that's more cartoon accurate rather than toy accurate. So taking a look here, really good vehicle mode. Like, it looks really good. Sure, the bottom is a bit hollow right here, but you're gonna have it like this. There's no wheels to roll. It's a little annoying, but it makes sense since he's essentially a hovercraft, right? It reminds me of the hovercraft that we saw from, like, Top Gear and stuff like that. This is essentially what he is. Then you can take a look here. Look at the details. Very nicely molded in details. You can see essentially where the floaty would be. This is really nice right here. This is nice molded in detail, those ridges, right? Nice windows painted black here. You can see the very nice Autobot logo with the silver there, the yellow here. A very nice white with some molded in detail across the board there. As well, you can see some more nice molded in detail. Here you got 5mm ports here, and then on the other side as well. Over for the most part looks good. Then you can see these little rotors on the back. These can also spin, which is really nice. Then you can see this is where the gun stores, so it can store on either side. So you have pegs on either. Actually, no, it's just this side. I thought that was both sides. But no, you can just store it on this side, and then it stores very nicely there. You can take a look at the gun here as well. Looks really good. Very nice silver, very nice detail. Looks really, really good. Like, I'm really happy. And very, very clean vehicle mode storage. Another figure recently that actually has some clean vehicle mode storage, and it doesn't look egregiously terrible. Sure, the worst angle is probably the back because you can obviously see that's his head. But for the most part, overall, this looks really, really good, and I'm really, really happy with how this vehicle mode in all turned out, because what I'm going to do here before we do our actual size comparisons, I'm going to set this guy up to the side here, and we're going to put a picture of how the actual vehicle mode appeared in the G1 cartoon, because this is obviously what everyone's more or less going to be comparing it to, because this is the closest we've gotten in more modern era to a Seaspray for the deluxe class, because when we're looking at this figure, you'll see the size comparisons here. He's very much a deluxe class size. He's a bigger mini-bot, but at the end of the day, I don't really mind that he's a bit of a bigger mini-bot, because we've had characters, was it Huffer, even Cosmos was quite a bit larger, even Warpath as well, so really nice to get another mini-bot, but I hope you guys see really, really nice comparison between the two here, the cartoon look versus the actual toy that we have here today. So very few modifications. I think that all they really have to do is take the Autobot logo and put it on top of the white here and change a couple more details like the head and stuff like that. But for the most part, really, really nice. And so since he's already off to the side here, we're going to do our actual size comparisons. Alrighty, folks, here he is with the Transformers Legacy United Infernac Universe Deluxe Class Magnus. Like I told you, you can see he's very much an average deluxe size figure. These two are about the same exact size. There's no real major difference with the size here. Even their width, their height, their length, they're all basically the same. As you can see, looking at these two side by side, they're very, very similar in size, which is why I think that they can absolutely just do a little bit of retooling, remolding, and make this mold into a G1 cartoon-accurate Seaspray. And for a mini-bot comparison, here he is with the Transformers Studio Series 86 Deluxe Class Bumblebee. As you can see, again, Bumblebee is on obviously the smaller side of the mini-bots and on the smaller side of Deluxe. But at the end of the day, that makes sense to me. I think characters like Bumblebee and Cliffjumper, even Beachcomber, these are characters that should probably be a bit smaller than your average one, right? Like I said, we're getting Windcharger, the only two other mini-bots that we have left pre-86 movie. Please don't, leave your pitchforks at home. Don't crucify me for that. The only two mini bots we have left are this guy Seaspray as well as Powerglide, and so just waiting for those two, and we'll have the whole pre-86 cartoon mini bot cast, which is really, really exciting to have. So very nice size comparison between these two. They look really, really good together. Alrighty guys, and now it's time to get into the transformation, which really isn't all too bad. There's a couple of annoying things. It's mainly with the rotors on the back, and you'll see what I mean. And it's mainly actually getting him to his vehicle mode that's a little more annoying. But for the most part, it's really not that bad of a transformation. There's one thing I'd like to mention though, is that the front bit here, because this is where the legs will part, because the legs are obviously the front. At the end of the day, mine doesn't always tap together very nicely. It kind of comes untabbed every so often, and if I had to say if they're going to reuse this mold, that's one thing I'd like for them to fix, is for the front to tab in correctly. I know other people have had this issue with this mold as well, so I hope if they do decide to take this mold and just retool it for the actual cartoon accuracy spray, that they decide to fix that. But transformation, let's remove the gun first. Then I like to do the legs, so we're going to split these and separate these from here. Then you can take the arms and you can rotate them around and get them out of the way like so. Then from here, we're going to take the legs and we are going to untab them from here. And what you can do is you can take this entire section. You'll see this is the waist. You can essentially take the waist and you can rotate it down like so. And then you can sort of straighten out the legs. And then what you'll see here is when you lift these up and accordion them, there's a tab right there, and then there's a tab hole right there on the top of the foot. And then you can just accordion this whole thing and make sure that that tabs into place. So do the same thing on this side, accordion it and tab that right into place like so. Then what you can do for one side, you can fold this in, and then you can fold this panel in, and this will tab nicely there. And then you can just fold this panel in like so. Then for the feet, you fold this and you fold this. Make sure this is all the way, and then you can fold this in. So the same thing here. All you got to do is fold this in, like that. Make sure they're folded nicely, and then fold this in. And there you basically have his legs. Now for his chest area, you're going to lift this up and then you're going to rotate this all the way around. Then you're going to take this section and you're going to accordion it and recollapse it closer to the inside of the chest here. And that's it for that bit. Now the top is where the things get kind of annoying. So you're going to rotate him around, fold this panel down, rotate the head. You're going to rotate this around. You're going to rotate the head around like so. And what you're going to do is you're going to recollapse this entire thing onto here, but as you're doing that, you're going to have to rotate the arms all the way around on these hinges here. This is the part that always screws me up. And the reason this is annoying is because this panel always gets in the way, so you got to do that. All right, there you go. And then you can recollapse this down like so. And then you can rotate the arms, put them like this, put them up like this, and then what you'll see here is there are going to be two little tabs like right there. Look right there and there. And then there are two tab holes right here. One there, and then this will just tab right into place there. Then to do the arms, you just gotta rotate them forward so that the L is facing the front. Same thing here. Rotate them so that the L is facing the front. And well, to complete the look, I'm just gonna give him his gun, which pegs right there very nicely. Ladies and gentlemen, here we have the Transformers G1 Retro Seaspray in his absolutely fantastic looking robot mode. And so guys, when we're taking a look at this guy in his robot mode, I mean, this is amazing. We're going to set this guy off to the side. I'm actually going to probably raise the camera just a little bit here. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a picture of how he appears in the actual cartoon here. As you can see, there's very little that they have to do to change this guy to actually make him into the G1 cartoon accurate version. And so I'm really, really happy they had this mold because it's so easy for them to just retool this, repackage it in the new line, and then be like, hey guys, here's your cartoon accurate Seaspray. So really, really nice that they have this mold. I'm kind of surprised that they made this before they made the actual G1 cartoon accurate Seaspray, but I'm not complaining, so it gives us a nice preview of what we're going to get in the future. So, bringing this guy back to the center here, you can see the very toy-accurate head. Looks really, really cool. Obviously, the major difference is that he has a big visor, and his head more looks like Goldbug's head, rather than actual Seasprays with 2 eyes and stuff like that. He has this nice visor, and he has a face mask and everything like that. Looks really, really good. No Autobot logo here, where it should be for the cartoon, but here for the toy, it makes sense. Very nice detail here. Again, all that detail comes out here. Just very clean, like, very, very clean. The feet look good as well. And on the back, I mean, he's super clean. Like, this is the cleanest figure, and he feels really solid and robust. Like I said, the only thing that I get annoyed with is that these panels don't like to tab together sometimes. But for the most part, when we're taking a look at this guy from a detail and look standpoint, he looks really, really good. Very, very clean. Feels really solid and doesn't have any issues standing up or anything like that. And so, what we're going to do is we're going to set this guy off to the side here. We are going to be doing our size comparisons. Alrighty folks, here he is with the Transformers Legacy United Infernac Universe Deluxe Class Magnus. As you can see, he's a little bit shorter than an average Deluxe figure, but again, being a Minibot, this makes a lot of sense. I think that the bigger Minibots should probably be still smaller than an average Deluxe, but bigger enough, obviously, than the smaller Minibots, as we'll see here with Bumblebee in just a second. Alrighty folks, and here he is with the Transformers Studio Series 86 Deluxe Class Bumblebee. And as you can see, just like I told you, I really do think that this is a nice size. Sure, he's a bit bigger, and he's, there's definitely a big size difference here. But at the end of the day, they're still relatively within their size class with one another. And again, being a larger Minibot, he's about the same size as Huffer, as Warpath, as Cosmos. So at the end of the day, I'm perfectly fine with Seaspray being one of the larger of the Minibots, especially considering his vehicle mode is also quite larger in general. Alrighty folks, and now it's time to get into the articulation for Seaspray, which is pretty solid. You're going to have a ball joint at the head, so you can do a full 360, and then you can do a little bit of side to side, and a teeny bit of up and down, but nothing too crazy. Arms will do a full 360. You can rotate here, out, you can go in. You have wrist rotation, which is actually wrist-like, bend up and down like this. Then you have full waist rotation. Then you can kick forward, you can kick back, you have 90 degrees at the knee, you have a rotation in the upper part of the thigh, and then you have some ankle rocker, but because of the way it's designed, you don't get the most amount of ankle rocker. That's the only thing I can complain about, but for the most part, you have some pretty average and pretty nice articulation overall. So it's nothing too terrible or anything, it's just very, very average, very solid all around, but again, nothing to write home about. The worst part about it, in my opinion, is the ankle articulation. Alrighty folks, and now it's time to get into the reverse transformation, which is a little bit more annoying than getting him to his robot mode, but for the most part still isn't too bad. So we're going to remove the gun, and then we're going to sort of straighten him all out here. And then what you're going to want to do is going to take the head and you're going to turn it all the way around. Take the arms and do the same thing. You're going to turn those around as well. Then on the back, you're probably going to untab this, and then what you want to do is rotate these down. And then from here, what you can do is you have to rotate these so that they don't like block the white panel here, and just fold this up for the time being. That'll help get things out of the way, and you'll see where that goes soon enough. Then from here, what you're going to do is you're going to take this entire section and untab it, and then you're going to rotate it around. Now what you'll see here that's very interesting about this, rotate this around. You have to rotate the arms up as well. My apologies, I always get annoyed with this step. Or around, my goodness. Like that. There you go. Now what you'll see here is that once you rotate it down like this, there are 2 tab holes right there, and that there are 2 tabs right here. You want to tab those into place. And then what you'll see here is once you've rotated this down, those 2 tab holes will go into these 2 tabs once again, and then you just sort of line this up the best you can, and then tab those right into place like so. Then from here, what we're going to do is we're going to keep the arms like this, and then you're going to take the legs and stuff. You're going to push this panel down from the chest, rotate this all the way around. Then you're going to take the legs, you're going to fold these out, fold this up, then take this section, fold this up as well. Do the same thing here, fold this up, and this bit up as well. Then you're going to tab them together, and then you can sort of split these bits on the back here. And then you're going to accordion these so that they all fit in like that. Keep these tabbed together. Then from here, what you're going to do is you're going to rotate the entire waist in. And then what you're going to do is you're going to rotate the legs up, and then you got to bend them a little bit so that they all fit into these. So you see these little grooves right here? These little bits on his knees will fit right into those grooves. So do that. Then you can fold these panels like so. Then from here, all you got to do is take the arms, rotate them around, then fold those up like so. Same thing here, and then you have to do this panel last. I just wanted to show you that to you earlier. Fold this panel up, fold this up like that. Then you can re-tab that back in. Then tab that together best you can. Take the gun, put it right here. And ladies and gentlemen, here we have the Transformers Retro G1 Seaspray back in his hovercraft mode. And so guys, for my final concluding thoughts on the Transformers Retro G1 Autobot Seaspray, this guy is really, really solid. He represents the G1 toy very nicely. In addition to that, he also represents the cartoon rather nicely, despite a few small little things at the end of the day that they'll have to remold and retool if they decide to use this mold again. And so it's really nice to see a preview of what we're more than likely going to get for our G1 cartoon accurate Seaspray with this guy. And so for the time being, this guy will be my G1 cartoon Seaspray stand-in until we get the more cartoon accurate version. But we're taking a look at this guy. The worst part about him really are maybe that transformation with that white panel that sometimes gets confusing and annoying. In addition to that, the other thing that does annoy me a bit is there's two things. Is he doesn't have much ankle articulation, and in addition to that, he doesn't the front sometimes does not like to tab in together nicely for the legs. I hope that for the actual remold retool, if they decide to use this mold again, that's the one thing that they really fix, is try and get those two the two halves of his legs to fit together very nicely. But other than that, the vehicle mode looks fantastic. The paint's very nice. All the details are really, really good. In addition to that, when you get to the transformation, although there are a couple of annoying bits about it, it's not really that hard at all. In addition to that, when you finally get into the robot mode, he's really clean. He feels really solid, has some solid articulation all around, and comes with this gun, which is all he really needs to come with. Very, very clean profile as well. And so out of a 10, I'm probably going to give this guy like a 9. There really isn't too much that I really think that is bad about this guy. And so here in the... Here, I would highly recommend picking this guy up, especially if you want to Seaspray stand-in like I do for the time being. I'm really, really happy with it. So, I did pick mine up IRL in Walmart. I'm not sure where other countries' equivalents would be where you would find this guy, or if this is sort of like an exclusive thing. I know it's exclusive here in the US to Walmart, but I don't know if it's like, in other countries how it is. So I would just say, sort of, if you have a Walmart, if you have an equivalent, try looking there or something like that. You can more than likely be able to find this guy in store, because that's what I did. And so at the end of the day, I'm really happy with it. But I will see if I can find links online to other retailers if this guy is being sold online, and then I'll try and link those in the description as well, so you guys can use some online shopping retailers instead, especially because we're in the holiday season. Maybe you guys want to pick this guy up for yourself for Christmas or for someone else for Christmas. So at the end of the day, again, very nice figure, would highly recommend it. And so yeah, that's really it for the review. So I thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please like, comment, rate, and subscribe. Share this video with your friends, and also follow me on the socials. Those will be linked in the description below. And with that, guys, once again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video review, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace.